How's everyone doing? How are you doing, Reggie? How are you? How are you? Not in a show business, you know, empty chatter on a TV show. Really, let's lean into it. I care. How are you? Sincerely, I want to know.
Well, I mean, not as good as you, Golden Globe nominee.
Well, we got... Okay, that's really ruined the joke that we had here.
So sorry.
Because I was going to ask you sincerely, you'd start telling me, and I'd go, sorry, we've got to really jump into the news, but... Thank you very much, that's very kind. But let's get into the headlines. President Biden has now signed a record 28 executive orders in his first 2 weeks in office, and he addressed that large volume of orders by saying this.
I want to make it clear, there's a lot of talk, with good reason, about the number of executive orders that I have signed. I'm not making new law. I'm eliminating bad policy.
He's eliminating bad policy. Woo! Yeah. Eliminate bad policy. I love bad policy. I saw bad policy in Manchester.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. In '96, they were opening for Weezer. Absolutely fantastic. What a night.
Of course.
Joe Biden is now like a cool stepdad. Steps off a motorcycle wearing a leather jacket and aviator sunglasses. He's like, son, I'm not here to be your new dad. I'm here to eliminate your mom's loneliness. Meanwhile, over on Capitol Hill, Democrats are trying to pass Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief plan. And because Democrats have control of Congress, they say that they're not waiting for Republicans to come on board. When did we start talking about trillions? Trillions of dollars, like that's just a normal, totally normal number. When did trillions come into this? Like soon, you know where it comes after this? Quadrillion.
Yeah.
And that's just a number made up by a child. What even is a trillion? Spell it out for me, Reg. What's a trillion?
1,000 billion.
1,000 billion?
Yep. Yeah, it's like billions, just like million. Now.
You think a billion's a million?
Kinda. I mean, we have billionaires. Remember before it was like all about millionaires. Look
Yeah.
at all these millionaires. Now it's like billionaires.
Yeah.
And so we're not quite at the trillionaires level yet.
Who do you think in this room will be the first trillionaire?
Susan.
Susan, 100%.
Yep.
No
Actually,
question.
that does make
no
sense.
question.
That does make sense.
No question. All those app investments.
Yep.
Yes.
Second round Snapchat.
Yep.
First round Parler, which has backfired. This is bold, though. Democrats are taking charge whether Republicans like it or not. They're basically Tom Cruise enforcing COVID protocols on a film set. Look, we were reading about this story today. I've got to ask, right, is it just me, or does this come across like an unnecessarily sensual headline, right? It's a true headline. Democrats wield their massive package as they plough through Senate Republicans. Stimulus everywhere. Please. I actually saw Stimulus Everywhere in Liverpool. Yeah. They opened for Weezer. Fantastic night. And did everybody see this? A woman who was charged in the January riot at the Capitol building has just asked permission from a judge to go on a planned vacation to Mexico before her trial. Her argument is that the vacation has been prepaid. I have no sympathy for her. You know the phrase, don't do the crime if you've prepaid the conga line. The rioter, who owns a flower shop, claims that the trip is a work-related bonding retreat for employees and spouses. And here's where I think it becomes unstuck. What type of flower shop needs a bonding retreat? I've never been in a flower shop with more than 2 employees. You don't need a company retreat, you need to go to a lunch. And we want to tell you this about a new vaccine update to tell you about. The vaccine developed by Oxford and AstraZeneca is the first shot that's proven to reduce person-to-person transmission rather than just protect from infection. Sure, great news, brilliant news. Don't need the details, just get it in my arm, now. Honestly, at this point, I'd take a vaccine made by Arizona State University and Fuddruckers. I would. I would. If someone said, take the Arizona and Fuddruckers vaccine, I'd be like, have you got one? Yeah, sure, I'll do it. I was shocked when I read this, mainly because I thought AstraZeneca was that movie that Brad Pitt was in when he goes to space.
Yes, I did too.
Isn't that what it's called? AstraZeneca? You know the voice, the white poster. AstraZeneca. Look at Dave. Look at Dave.
He went full Fargo.
Look at Dave. Not even that funny.
I'm still laughing about the Arizona State University Fuddruckers joke.
Oh, good for you, Dave. What was it called? What was the...
Ad Astra?
Ad Astra.
Yeah.
Ad Astra. Did
Ad
you
Astra.
see it?
Into my arm.
Add the Astra. Now give me the Zeneca.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
You know, I haven't.
No. It got lost in the wash, didn't it? It came out, everyone said it was really bad. And then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, and we were all like, nah, see, Brad Pitt's amazing.
I think it was actually good. It's just the title messed everything up. Everyone just knows it's a Brad Pitt space movie.
What would you have called it, Rob?
Brad Pitt space movie.
Yes.
That'll get him in the seats.
Can't argue with that. You really can't argue with that. Did you guys see this? A woman in New York City is now facing backlash online for jumping to the front of the coronavirus vaccine line by claiming that she, as a SoulCycle instructor, is an educator. She apologized, saying that she'll reflect on the mistake from now until grind o'clock. What's your workout regime, Guillermo?
Just swimming and drumming.
Swimming and drumming.
Also known as swimming.
Yeah, don't try them at the same time.
That'd be interesting. You couldn't do it.
Where do you swim?
At my house.
Ooh. Oh. Well.
That's an insight. Jeez, I didn't know you had a pool.
I have a small swim spa. Yes.
Look at you, Rockefeller.
No, it's a small swim spa.
Swim spa.
Did you call it a
It's
small
like-
swim spa?
It's a swim spa.
Yeah, that makes it
It's not a
sound more
pool.
diminutive.
It's like out of current and you swim in it constantly.
Yeah.
Is that how you swim, Tim?
Yeah, like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Until someone throws a preserver.
And here's a crazy story. You know that blue check mark that verifies official accounts on social media? Well, a San Francisco-based artist reportedly fooled hundreds of Bay Area residents into applying for blue check homes to identify themselves as authentic public figures in real life. The artist did it as a joke, but underestimated just how terrible people are. Why would you need something on your property to signal that you're better than everyone else? That's what swimming pools are for. Can you imagine living next door to someone who wanted something like this? Every morning, your neighbour greets you like, hey, morning, be sure to like and subscribe. And finally, a Florida man was arrested after calling 911 early in the morning, requesting a free ride home. But the most unusual part of the story was the tattoo that police noticed on the man's forehead when they arrived. See if you can spot it. Here it is here. Look at that. He had a tattoo of the state of Florida on his forehead. It's like they say, you can take the man out of Florida, you can't take the Florida out of the man, not without multiple rounds of expensive laser treatment. Have you got any tattoos, Reg?
Not a one.
Not a one?
Yeah, I
Have
made
you ever
it.
been tempted?
Well, I lived in Seattle in the 90s, so it was hard, you know? Everybody was doing it. And scarification and piercings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I made it. I was like, I think I'll just go all the way through this life and just not with anything.
How would you feel if I told you that I have both nipples pierced?
I actually
Be
would-
honest, what would you think?
I wouldn't be surprised.
And not
at
even
all.
studs, hoops.
Yeah. You know?
2 hoops.
Yeah.
And I just say, it's just for me, you know? It's just like,
Yeah.
so much of my life is public. So much of my life is out there and lived in public. I just felt I needed to do something for me. I couldn't think of anyone on planet Earth worse to have both nipples pierced than me. Be horrific. Like, I'm looking around the room. Who in here could... I think Guillermo could get away with a nipple piercing. I think Dave could get away with a nipple piercing. I think Pete has almost certainly got an intimate piercing that we don't know about. Off limits. Off limits. Sorry, Pete. Sorry, Pete. Sorry, Pete. Pete could hang a barbell off his... But the man finally decided to get the tattoo covered up. Unfortunately, it was with something even worse. That's it.
Graphic.